Hey, everybody. I'm Fran Gallagher. I'm your guide to relationships, meditation, and intuition. So, this one today falls under the category of relationships. So, sometimes we need to graduate from someone or from a particular situation. What this means is that sometimes we have a situation where we can't stand the person, we hate the job, we feel trapped, whatever it might be, and we want out. So I get it. The first person who taught me this concept of graduation was my mentor, Mary. She began mentoring me when I was 13, and I believe she was one of the people and what she provided was one of the factors that I think saved my life. And she taught me this idea that you need to become non reactive to someone or something. Otherwise, as my dad might say, you'll get. And we are very, very reactive. It's because we're on the situation to us so that we can over it. We can graduate from it. And if we manage to graduate, that type of person, that type of situation will never bother us again. So there was a class that I taught. It was a private class and it made me some money. So I liked it. But there was one person in the class who was the organizer, shall I say. And this person was very, very unpleasant and said many unpleasant things to me on a regular basis. And these things were so unpleasant that they would shock me, they would surprise me, and I wouldn't have some kind of mean comeback a lot because I hate to say it, but I'm not mean. And they were paying me. So I wasn't saying anything like that in return. But I began disliking the class more and more and more and more and more, and disliking the things this person said to me. So I began being late because I didn't want to go. So one night, I decided that I wasn't going to be late anymore, that I was going to get it together and I was going to go. So the next morning, I was early, and the person said an unpleasant thing to me. And I simply greeted them and walked past them, and the spell was broken. Well, there were three people in the class. Two of them suddenly got opportunities that they could not turn down. They weren't even looking for these opportunities. And they got these opportunities. And within 1 week, and I'm not making this up, the class was done. It was over. And I have discovered that this happens over and over again. That when we decide that we're just not going to be reactive to someone or something, that we are going to accept it for what it is and not let it bother us, it'll be done. Otherwise, we will attract that same situation. If we walk away without graduating, we will attract that same person or same situation again, and it could be much worse. You know, I remember having sexual harassment as a normal thing in the workplace. I never even realized that that's what it was. It was just what went on in the workplace. And I remember when I graduated from someone who was harassed, was that if he said or if he did something inappropriate, I would narrate my experience in a very loud. And I was in a small office, so it would have been broadcast to everyone. And once I decided I was going to do that, The people involved never did their little thing ever again, ever. One man who I had experienced that with appeared 25 years later in a job that I got. And he was the nicest man ever. He was always a friend after that. So uh, it's very tricky, though, because we cannot have any kind of intention of hatred, anger, vindictiveness, vengeance. It's just about doing what's right by us. I wasn't planning to announce what these various men were doing just to be mean. It was a way of calling it out, bringing it to other people's attention so that it would stop, but doing it in a way that wasn't games playing. So we do have to be careful. This isn't permission or justification for us to get back at anyone. That's not what it's about. It's about, again, becoming non reactive to the person, to what they say or do, to any of it. Well, I hope that was helpful for you. And stay safe in all things that you do. Be well.